Hey, what's up everybody, this is Alfred from Practical Code Academy. In today's video, we're going to cover text formatting tags, and also we're going to cover HTML quotation. So let's get started. I'm going to open our course folder here. I'm going to create a new folder for our today topic. I'm going to call it tray HTML text formatting and quotations. I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code. And inside Visual Studio Code, it will open the welcome screen. You can close it. Here, you can create a new file by clicking on this icon. And you can create a new folder by clicking on this icon. I'm going to create a file for our lecture today. I'm going to call it index.html. And as I showed you last time, you can create a boilerplate using the exclamation mark and press tab. That will generate the boilerplate for HTML. I'm going to change my title here, HTML formatting, text formatting, and quotation. Okay, I'm going to start with the text formatting tags. I'm going to put a comment here to indicate where we're going to start the text formatting tags. That's just for notes for you. And the first tag I want to introduce you to is the P tag. And the P tag technically is short for bold, and it will create the text that's surrounded by this tag to be bold text. Okay, let's give it a try. So I'm going to give a paragraph. And in that paragraph, I can write, for example, this text is normal. So this is going to resemble the normal text paragraph. However, when you use the P tag, so I'm going to use that P tag. This is the opening tag for it. And this is the closing tag for it. And as you see, the P tag here is surrounded by the paragraph tag. And inside the P tag, I can put whatever I want. So in that case, I can say this is bold text, because P is short for bold. And if I save this and I open it with live server, and as you can see here, the difference between the normal paragraph and the paragraph that's surrounded with the B tag, it's bolded. Okay, we have another tag that will make the text bold, which is the strong tag. So if I put a strong tag here, it's a paragraph, and I use a strong tag, and between my strong tags here, I'm going to add this text is strong. And if you look in your browser, you'll find both of them, they look the same. And the question you might ask right now, what is the difference between the bold tag or the B tag and the strong tag? And to understand this question, you need to understand that not everybody look to the web through the web browser. Some people, they use screen readers applications. So the people that they having visual disabilities, they can hear the web. And for bold or the B tag, it's only affecting how the element will look in the browser. It's not going to add any semantic meaning for your code. However, the strong will means that this text is very important, and it's a strong, it's important text in your paragraph. So here, it's just how it's rendered to your browser, which is rendered as bold. However, for a screen reader, it means nothing. It doesn't mean that it's important text. However, for the strong, when you wrap it for the screen reader, it means that this is actually an important text in your page or in your document. So it's probably going to say it in a different way to the user, so he can listen it in a different way. Okay, that's for this different between the p tag and the strong tag, because there's a lot of people actually get confused because they look the same. For the browser, there's no difference. Both of them are bolded. So keep in mind that the strong have a semantic meaning. However, the P is just for the styling of the text. And of course, using CSS, you can style it whatever you want. You don't need actually to use a P tag. The next tag we're going to use, which is the I tag. And the I is short for italic text. So I can put a P, put an I, and saying this is italic text. And if you look here in your browser, now it's become italic text. And this is, the I is similar to the B tag. It's only for rendering or the styling. So it's only going to style it as italic. It's not, doesn't have any semantic meaning. Similarly, we have another tag, which is called EM. From the browser perspective, it looks the same as the I tag. So I can say this is emphasized. So EM is short for emphasize. So you can emphasize a text. So when I wrap it with EM, as you can see, they look the same, pretty much the same. However, this is meaning that this text I want to emphasize when the user using a screen reader. But for the I itself, it's just for rendering or styling on the web page. So it's not going to do emphasize on this text. The next tag that we're going to cover is the small tag. So this is small text, and I can wrap the small text here with a small tag. And the small tag, it's actually do what it says. It's going to make the text smaller. And as you can see here, this piece of the text, it will be less smaller than this is, because this is not wrapped with the small tag. However, small text is wrapped with the small tag. And you can view this element in the development tool if you right click on it and you inspect the element. And if you go for the computed data, you can see that the font size here is just 13 pixels. And the original, any paragraph, is 16. So now the original text is 16 pixels, and using the small tag will make it 13.33 pixels. So it will make the font size smaller. Well, now you're aware about the small tag. Let's talk about the mark tag. If you want to highlight anything in your document, use the mark tag to mark it. So we can create a paragraph, this, or HTML is a markup language. And I'm going to wrap the markup language with the mark tag here, the closing tag of the mark. And notice what happened here. It gets highlighted. So I highlighted the markup language here because it gets wrapped by the mark. Now I mark it in my document. Okay, the next two tags I'm going to introduce you is related to editing. If you want to delete or insert anything in your document, so you can use the delete or the del tag. So I can do like, for example, my favorite color is blue, then red. Now, actually, I made a mistake about the blue, so I need to delete it. So I put the del here, and the correct value is the red. As you can see here, I cancel the blue, and I delete it, or I remove it using the strike through line. However, I'm indicating that the new value is the red. That's how you delete. It just for the rendering or styling purposes. Of course, you can use the CSS to do the same thing using this text decoration property. However, this have a semantic meaning, so the page or the browser know that you're deleting this here and you're adding the new value here. Another one, the next one for the text editing will be my favorite color is red. It's going to be the insert. So we have the delete, and now we're going to insert something. In that case, I'm going to wrap the ins, which is short for ins, insert. I'm going to wrap the color with the insert tag. And as you can see, it's going to underline it, indicating that this word was inserted in my text. Another tag that's important, and I think it's important especially if you're going to do like a chemistry website, subscripted text. That's mean if you're using Word or anything, that's going to be the small text that comes underneath the letter or the text that you write. So for example, I can write CO2. However, I want the 2 here to be subscripted to the O or come underneath the O. To do that, all I need to do is just wrap the 2 by the sub, which is short for subscripted. So I can do it this way, CO2 plus, I can do O2, which is oxygen. Also, I'm gonna sub the 2. Closing the tag. So now the sub surrounding this 2 and surrounding this 2. If I wanted to render it, this is how it's gonna look like. Now the CO2 plus the O2, and as you can see, the 2 here is subscripted to the O. For math, we can use the superscripted. The superscripted means x bar 2, x bar 3, or anything powered with a number or a letter. So in that case, we can write P, paragraph, can do X, in that case, SUP, like Peter, and we can put 3. And now this is superscripted, and this is subscripted. And you can add another equation, 2 times x power 2. Equal, or let's take out the equal. So that's how you make power or superscripted text with any or mathematical equation in HTML. So this is the 2 tags that you need, the sub and the sub. One last tag I want to describe in the text formatting. If you remember in the last lecture, when I told you, let me add here like a dummy text using lorem, and then also do edit and view word toggle. Remember if I told you when you add spaces or you added enter here, the browser don't care. I can save it right now. It's not going to add my enter here. However, you can save anything you want. You can present it the way you want it. I can add as much as you want here. And let the browser display it the way that I wrote it here. However, you need to wrap it up with the pre tag. And the pre tag technically is just pre-formatted. It's short for pre-formatted. So I can wrap everything here with pre. Short for pre. And once I wrap everything here with the spaces and new lines, the browser will display the same way I wrote it in my source codes, because it's going to preserve the format or pre-formatted. It's not going to take out the spaces, not going to take out the new lines. I just want to bring this up. You probably need to, if you want to use it, here is the pre. Let me format the text a little bit. Okay. Now I want to go over HTML quotations. What is the tag that I can use in quotations? So I'm just going to put a comment here, HTML quotations. How you can add quotes in your HTML document. Let me add it here in H1. saying text formatting. And if you remember the horizontal line tag, so I want to separate the text formatting tags from the quotation tag, so I can add a horizontal line here. And now I have here the title, text formatting, and this is the output for it. Now I have the horizontal line, and now I'm going to have another H1 saying HTML quotations. Okay, for quotation, I want to start with the short quotations. So for example, I might have a paragraph. Paul said, and you cannot put actually the quotation like this. You can do it. It's not a big deal. But if you want to quote it, you have the Q tag, and Q is short for quotation, which is short quotation. Then you put the Q, and then the sun will always rise, something like this. And as you can see, it will take the quotation and it will wrap it with the quotation marks here. And as I said, you definitely can change that, and you do it manually here. But now semantically, you're not indicating to the browser that there is a quotation here. You know that because you already put the quotation or the double quotations here, but you never give this information to the browser. That's why you semantically indicate or define to the browser what kind of elements here. So here, by adding the Q and adding a Q here, now your browser is aware that this is quotations, okay, or a short quotation in that case. Beside the short quotation, you have the block quotation, and instead of you having multiple or a big piece of quotation. Let's take this one. Someday is not a day of the week. Dennis Brandon Wilson. Whatever. So I'm going to take this copy. I'm going to do the block quote tag and add inside the block quote tag my block code. And if we save this, you will see it will not actually, this double quotations here, I add them, I can take them out. And you will see it's not gonna wrap it with double quotation, it will just indent it a little bit in your screen. But now the browser knows that you're having a block code here. Okay, you can also cite where you get this code. So for example, I get it from this website, I just can copy, and in my browser here, I put a reference where I get this code for using the site attribute. And the site attribute, I put the website where I get this code. And if I save it, it's not going to affect how your page look like. However, in your source code, you're indicating where did you get this code from. It's like you're putting a reference, where did you use this info or getting this information. This is for block code. It's just an indentation. If you care about how it's going to look like or style in your page, it's just an indentation. Now let's cover abbreviation. So the APPR, which is short for abbreviation, we can put a P tag, and now the UN was founded in 1948, something like this. And in that case, the UN is an abbreviation of the United Nations. So in that case, I can wrap up this UN with APPR, which is short for abbreviation, and also close the tag here. And now you're having here, nothing happen here. Just the abbreviation by itself is not going to do anything to your, actually I did a mistake here. The APPR or abbreviation tag is by itself is not going to do anything to you. You need to add the title to it, the title attribute, giving more information. What is this abbreviation short of? In that case, it's going to be United Nations. And now once I save it, you will see you have this dots here. That means this is an abbreviation. When you hover over it, as you can see now, it's United Nations, will show the title. And actually, you don't need the abbreviation to show a title. As I showed you before, you can add the title to any tag. However, you're telling the browser in this location there is an abbreviation. This is you defining to the browser, not to the user or how is the user going to see it. HTML don't care about how these elements will look like in the browser. They care about the structure of the page itself. Okay, the next one is actually important because it have to do with the address. So if you want to add an address in your web page, you can wrap the address at a tag. In that case, let's add an address: 25 Main Street, New York 1137, whatever. And once you save that, as you can see, it's italic text indicating like it's an address. And also now that web page know that this is an address, and also the search engines, for example, if you're adding your address to your page, now it know that in this area that's an address. So once, for example, you having a web page for a web developer, and you call it anything, web developing company, and somebody searching for that in Google, Google will go to your page, look for address information, and it will show as a result and tell him, okay, I find this page and here is his address. How Google know the address? It's gonna know it by the address tag here. Okay, hope that makes sense. Next, I wanna cover something not related to the tags. I'm just gonna add a horizontal line here. Since we covered attribute last time, there is a very important attribute I want you to know about. I'm just gonna put a title here, which is called style attribute. So I'm gonna have an H2 here, which is heading level 2. And in case this, I'm gonna put it is my heading. And for the style attribute, since it's an attribute, you added inside the opening tag here. So you add style equal, and then you have the double quotation marks. The value here is a CSS declaration, or a CSS, you declaring something, or a property for that heading 2 that you want to change. I know we didn't cover the CSS yet, and we're going to go in depth through that. In that case here, since I'm using style attribute, I'm doing something called inline styling. Inline styling, that means the style that I'm going to pick, it's going to only affecting this H2 tag. It's not going to affect anything in my page except this H2. Okay, so what is the format of the CSS that I can add in this line? Well, you can add, for example, background, color, which is dash color, and the syntax, it's whatever you want to change. In that case, I want to change the background color, colon, and the value you want to change. In that case, I want to make it red. So the property, in that case, the property that I want to change of this H2 is the background color. Then you add a column. Then after the column comes the value of this property you want to add it. In that case, I want to change red, the background color, to red. And if I save this, as you can see here, the background turned to red. Okay. What if I want to add more than just one CSS declaration or CSS styling? You separate them by semicolon. So I put a semicolon. Then in that case, I don't like the blue color. I can change the color using the color property and then give it any value that I want. Don't forget the column. It's the property, column, and then the value. In that case, I'm gonna put white. And now it's becoming, the text becoming white. And the style tag, it can be used with any element. Let me, so you can have an idea to see what's going on here. Okay, let's add, for example, have a paragraph. And this is my paragraph. And now I'm gonna add a style tag or style attribute, sorry. And the style, I'm gonna put a color, just gonna wanna change the color to blue. So the property blue, the color, property color, I wanna change it to blue. And if I save this, as you can see now, the paragraph is blue. And this is one way how you can include CSS in your code, and this is not the recommended way. Later inside this course, we're gonna see how you can use CSS and to access CSS and styling all your elements, but this is not the best way. Well, as you can see here, as a summary, we covered today the text formatting tags. We know about the P, strong, I, EM, small, mark, insert, delete, and we know about the subscription and superscription and how you can use them in your HTML. Also, we covered the pre tag, which pre-formatted tag, and it allows you to define how you want your text appear in your browser. Also, we go over the HTML quotations, how you can create a short quotation, which in that case, short for Q, and how you can add a block quote quotation. We go over the abbreviation and address. And also, finally, we covered the style attribute. This is very important. This is gonna make our life easy when I go describe the ID and the span. What is the difference between the ID and span? That's gonna become very helpful. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you do like it, hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe now. And in the next video, we're gonna be covering images and links. So stay tuned for the next video. Have a good day.